But yeah, Remco Evenepoel, double gold medalist, never been done before in the history of the sport.
The women have done it before.
Who? Armstrong?
Sydney 2000. It
Oh,
was
okay.
a Dutch woman. I can't remember the name of.
That's helpful.
Sorry, but it did happen in Sydney 2000 because I saw lots of people getting angry about it online.
Yeah, but why? We were talking about the men's. We were talking about, yeah, whatever. Let's not go down there. Ewan's already triggered a lot of people with the intro. But this has to be one of his greatest achievements, maybe, or is there a bit of, yeah, I don't know. If you're going to rank these two gold medals as his highest achievements, are they above his third place in the Tour, World Championships, his Vuelta a España, his Liège, Bastogne Lièges, or is this not even near the top five?
I mean, Tour of Poland victory in 2020.
Tour of Denmark, there we go, number one right there.
No, genuinely, like we spoke about it last week. He's won every single he's won nationals, continentals, worlds, and Olympics. In road racing, he's won all of them. Apart from Europeans, he came second in that as a senior, won as a junior. That's the only thing missing there to complete that. Once he now has to go to the European Championships and just absolutely hammer it and try to see if he can get anywhere. This year it's the cobbled course that looks a little bit like a sort of Flemish classic. So it'd be cool to see if he goes to that and tries to target it. But it's probably up there as one of his big achievements. I'm sorry that that's not a super concise answer, but I think it depends what you... As a cycling fan, I'd like to think the World Championships and winning a Grand Tour is bigger than winning the Olympics, but the Olympics transcends a lot of cycling. Like, everyone knows the Olympics. He's currently got 2 golds for Belgium. They don't have many gold medals. It's a big deal for them. I just feel like the Olympics to some people will be a bigger deal. I think it depends what you want out of the sport. But World Championships, Olympics, I guess Olympics by default because they only come once every 4 years. That probably gets precedence. So perhaps it is his best result.
I mean, considering that this Olympic title and his World Champs road title were won in essentially the same way, but this one is a bit sparser in terms of kind of irregularity of the event. I'll say that the Olympic one, I think, means more to me. I mean, he gets to wear something gold for the next 4 years. I mean, do you remember anything from Greg van Avermaet's career other than him being Golden Greg? You know,
Renault Adriatico,
no, everybody remembers just Golden Greg. That's just the way it works. Do you reckon Remco will get a different pizza now? Made for him.
What would they put on it?
What would be on it? Gold leaf. What's gold? What can you put on pizza that's gold?
But this is Pizza Hut. It's not.
Would it be like you could do like a pizza, but it's got like the Eiffel Tower in the background, made of pepperoni or something?
Oh, gosh.
Anyway,
what else is gold? I mean, just like a lot of cheese. Like, you know, the Americans will understand this reference. Velveeta. Like that kind of like plastic American style cheese, just that smothered across it, that would look very golden. But
doesn't sound appetizing.
No, it sounds like it's very high in cholesterol, not great for you. But I don't think Remco Evenepoel even eats those pizzas anyway. But that's besides the point.
I was going to say, what's next for Remco Evenepoel? Because he's also been rumored to be starting Milan-San Remo and Tour of Flanders next year.
This is very strongly rumored, and it has been for a while, but it's looking a lot more likely. And also, Evenepoel as well is hinting that he's going to be targeting new things and riding new races next year that he's very excited about. Ronda, I would imagine, is the one he's most excited about. And judging by the fact that he won a race that was very similar in distance and very similar in altitude gain to Ronde van Vlaanderen, he will have to start as a favourite next year. The Olympic group is quite similar to Ronda in terms of those attributes, and Soudal Quickstep, we know them. They have a good history in this race. They haven't been doing very well in the past couple of years. They need a strong leader to sort of help them stand out. Evenepoel is that man. I don't know if Pogacar is going to be targeting him next year. I think Pogacar and Remco have that kind of similar edge. But I think Remco will be a really fascinating element to watch in the Ronde van Vlaanderen. I don't quite think Remco's sort of style and his tactics suit Milan-San Remo. Those long-distance attacks never work in San Remo. And I quite frankly do not want to have a discussion in March about whether Remco Evenepoel could win from an attack at the Cipressa. I know it's going to be taken over Twitter in the build-up, but I'm just tired of talking about riders attacking on the Cipressa. It just doesn't work. But Ronda, for me, I think is a really big target and a very, very likely target for him to do well at.
Actually, he's going to obviously one of the most, rumored to be going to one of the most prestigious stage races of them all, the Tour of Britain. That's it. It's about I think that is what is actually next for him. Obviously, actually some of those stages were announced this week. There is a start and finish in Kelso, which is quite exciting in a way. I don't know.
Hobble finish there.
Yeah. So can Oscar Onley be starting? He has to.
That's quite literally what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, the Tour of Britain route as well, it's a couple rolling stages, but it's a lot of flat. I don't really understand why he's going to Tour of Britain, to be honest. There's no time trial. It seems like a strange preparation for the Worlds, but he could be going to Quebec. I think those Quebec Classics would have been a much better fit if he's targeting the Worlds.
The jet lag. It's going to be crazy, no?
So he's going to ride in a flat stage around Suffolk.
And North Yorkshire. North Yorkshire. Go back to Saltburn. They love Saltburn now.
They're doing that They're doing that
Saltburn
stage 2, but that stage 2 is 1 day of a 5-day race. Yes, the race is only 5 days.
Is it not 6? It's short. I thought it was 6.
It's 5 days, I believe. I wrote an article about the route. I think it's 5 days. I wrote it about a month ago, so it's quite back at the head. But there's a stage in...
I've got 6 stages here.
What? Is it 6?
It's 6 stages, it's not 5.
They had one.
Starting in Kelso, like you said, and finishing in Flexstowe.
Oh, Felixstowe, yeah. That's in Suffolk. Why have I not won a stage there before? Nevertheless, what do I know? I should research things instead of banking on my memory. But I just don't really understand the point. It's not going to be a high level of racing. It's not very similar in terms of its profile to the World Championships. Make it make sense, please.
Yeah, it is more... The World Champs route this year is more into the GP Montreal, especially, I think, as opposed to Suffolk. Let's just put it that way. I mean, World Champs has probably got a decent shot. I guess that's the natural progression. That'll be the next big goal, is to try and double up in both of those. It'll be interesting to see Remco versus Poggi in a one-day setting, finally, because they seem to have just been avoiding each other, like trying to put the same end of magnets together. So it'll actually be interesting to see kind of their strategies, because they're both long-distance attackers. They've got a fastest finish, but I'd say Poggi's got a slight edge, so it's going to force attacks from Remco. And I think it'll be an interesting battle this year. It sounds bad to think that almost nobody else is coming to mind to contest them in the World Champs. Nobody's really springing to mind.
I can't really throw out a name either, but we'll see how the Vuelta goes. Maybe someone arises in that race. But what's next for him? I think the classics. We have Ronda coming up. They're also, I think, sort of bagging some more stage races. Doesn't actually have that many UCI 1 week long stage races in his Palmares at the moment. So I think trying to win Paris-Nice, where he got unstuck this year by Jorgensen, for instance, maybe even Tirreno, depends how it all works out, and just sort of try to build up and sort of add more of these stage races to his Palmares, because I think he's a really good one-day racer. He's a really good international event racer. But if you look back past that and look around tours in his sort of stage racing and GC Palmares, it's a little bit bare. And I think if he gets more practice at that, he could definitely try to hit the ground better at the Tour de France next year to beat Pogacar and Vingegaard. Because I think he proved this year that he's not that far off them.
You think it's bare? He's won like Vuelta Burgos twice. Algarve 3 times.
That's not Vuelta Tour. These are not Vuelta Tour events.
Yeah, but it's still... You were saying stage races out overall, and yeah, I do agree with the World Tour.
Overall,
it's a bit thin on the ground.
The GC classification, but these are not World Tour races. In that case, let's look towards, who's a great GC rider? Sam Bennett, because he won the Cajou de Dunkel.
He's got a point.
I don't think he does, but
he just needs.
Yeah, no, I agree. Ewan's right. He needs to win Paris-Nice or Tirreno. But
yeah, it just needs that early season confidence, kind of one of those big ones. Yeah, like
Tour Down Under.
Oh God, He's not Australian, and he just can't win that. It's not Isaac Del Toro. I think Remco, yeah, if he wins a Paris-Nice trainer, yeah, it's cool. But I mean, ultimately, the big goal for him will be, yeah, I think Flanders mainly, and then the Tour. Like it just has to be. That'll be the two big races, I think, and then just continuously like world champs, all day, every day. That'll be like his 3 goals, kind of nicely interspersed throughout the year.
I've seen some discourse about the fact that Remco should win the Giro next year, and should ride the Giro, could win it, instead of doing the Tour, because does he want to settle for third place behind Vingegaard? Pogacar, we know, is close as he showed this year. Is he going to be closer next year? We don't know. If he goes to Giro and wins that, bags it into the Palmares, and then returns to the Tour de France in 2026, the year after next, is that the best strategy going forward? I saw lots of people argue that it is, because it's not worth building your whole season up to get third place at a Tour de France when you could win another Grand Tour. Maybe he does a Giro Vuelta and tries to win those two.
I feel like that exact train of thought is how Primož Roglic's career has gone, which is basically, I'm going to win stuff around the Tour, but it's fine, guys. I'll return to the Tour and win it. And then it just... But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can understand people saying, oh, you know, what's the point in going for third place at the Tour? It's like, because third place at the Tour is still pretty important. And I do think that Remco will have gained quite a lot from this third place at the Tour this year, even if it was up against a Jonas, which a hampered preparation, but it was against an absolutely flying Pogacar, like probably the best GC performance in modern time, people might say. You know, a lot of the numbers and stuff coming out of it that people were reverse calculating or whatever were, you know, some of the best ones ever. And Remco was very good this year, and I think that I'm not sure if next year he will beat them, even with like perfect prep and the experience he's gained here, but I think he will get better, and I think he will close the gap a little bit. And I think it's that which he's got to kind of keep living off of to try and win a Tour. And then whether he goes for the Giro or not, I mean, maybe he does go for Giro. It worked for Poggi this year. Maybe Remco might take hope from that. But I would say that he's probably going to go for the Tour, especially if he wants to do Flanders. I think the Flanders going into the Giro is just like a bit of I'm not sure if people consider that to be a bit too risque. And yeah, I just think I think he'll go for the Tour. I think he's got Tour fever. He loved it too much.
Exactly. I feel sometimes when they start the Tour and they get a bit of a smell and a taste for the Tour, they remain there for the rest of their careers. And it is the biggest race in the world, and the team has invested a lot in putting him there. That is the long-term plan, is for him to podium and hopefully win more Tours de France in the end.